What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. Please follow my Instagram at Russo Lifts, just in case something happens to this YouTube channel. You can follow, message, and you can watch my daily story content on Instagram. I'll see you there. What's up, everyone? It's Russo. I hope everyone is doing well. At Narrows HQ, over in Tacoma, Washington, talking to Russ, and we like to do the truths about the industry. And I really wanted to go back into testing because testing is one of those things that you think everyone does, but they really don't. And you really, like, people think you don't need to test because maybe the ingredient's cheap, or you assume people test, but in reality they don't. You know, with Narrows, they're all about testing, they're all about transparency. And Russ just wanted to go into a story about an ingredient that most people want to test, but it turned back to bite most people because he ended up getting it tested and it wasn't what it was.
Yeah.
So what was that ingredient?
It was actually for one of our, for another brand that we have. You know, we at Narrows, we have Narrows Labs, and we also have other brands too that we work with. We're not just we do several brands under our roof, but it was actually an Irish sea moss powder, something that you wouldn't assume that would have been faked. But this $50 a kilogram product came back negative, and that really blew my mind because I wouldn't assume that these cheaper products would be faked or would be up. But you know, everybody makes mistakes. You know, maybe the supplier sent us the wrong thing, maybe they didn't mean to send it to us, but for whatever reason, it wasn't what it was supposed to be. So I really realized from that one experience that, hey, you've got to test all ingredients. Not just the TUDCA, not just the SARMs, not just the expensive stuff, but everything.
Do you know what it actually was?
We didn't know. We don't know because it would cost too much to sit there and test all the possibilities of what it was. We just knew it wasn't what it was supposed to be. So
if you put that product out, how many bottles would end up being? Like, let's say you didn't test it and you ended up putting it out. How many bottles of fake shit would have you put out?
It was a couple thousand bottle run that we were planning on doing. So, but before we put it into production, we were waiting back on the test results, and we had to stop production, reorder, talk to the supplier. Obviously, we don't work with that raw ingredient supplier anymore.
What was the supplier's response?
Basically said that it was what it was supposed to be. He sent over, again, his own COAs saying this is it. I was like, no, we have our own COAs too. It's not what it is. He sent over his COAs. But you know, a COA is just a piece of paper unless it's done by a reputable lab. You know, a lab that will go to court for you and stand on the legitimacy of that lot and batch number. You know, they go to court for you. A credible lab, that's what it's all about. It's not a COA, just like I've been saying, isn't simply a piece of paper that says this is the purity or this is the identification. It's actually a piece of paper that certifies it's a credible lab standing by you saying this is what it is and we are willing to go to bat for you. So
how many supplement companies do you think just trust the raw manufacturer COAs and don't go out of their way to do their own COAs, to get their own testing? How many people do you think just believe what the supplier is saying?
I'd say, man, a lot. I didn't know. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know until I was like, hey, we're going to start getting all ingredients tested. And it was really an eye-opener, you know. And I'm sure, you know, there's companies out there that probably do all the testing. But, I mean, it's just not something that you would assume a company would fake a very cheap ingredient. Like, why would you fake it? It might have been a mistake. I don't know. You know, like maybe he meant to say, and this was a big company. You know, these are huge companies in California. These raw ingredient suppliers, they have huge warehouses, and if they made that mistake, then just imagine, you know, the possibilities out there. And the craziest thing about the supplement industry is that people are taking this stuff.
Right.
Like, people are putting this in their mouth and they're consuming. Maybe it would be different if you were buying an alarm clock and it was made with a different kind of plastic. Oh, well, you're not putting that in your body, you know, but something that you're putting in your body, I feel should be tested and, you know, verified. It's a crazy industry.
So as an educated consumer, you know, if they weren't even shopping at Narrows, like, what would you suggest them do as far as questioning before buying the product?
I would suggest that all consumers, like I always say, you know, you might not find the product from Narrows, you might not like Narrows. It doesn't matter. I'm here to inform, and you should be able to ask your supplier or whoever you're buying your supplements from, one, for their GMP certificate. Oftentimes this GMP seal is put on supplements and there's no actual oversight or committee that's going around cracking down on it. I mean, there may be, but they're not doing a good job, because I know it's a couple supplement companies myself, when I was starting up back in the day, that were putting the GMP certificate seal on their bottles.
Fake authority.
Yeah, they were
purity,
really GMP certified. GMP means that your facility, your manufacturing facility, is audited, it's inspected. There's certain standard operating procedures that they have to abide by to get that GMP certificate. So having that GMP certificate, or asking the company that you purchase from, if they claim they are GMP certified, to see the certificate, to see that it's up to date. We have ours available for anybody that asks, because we want to be transparent. We don't just want to make claims. We want to be able to prove that we have the documentation to support what we claim. So
I think moral of the story for you guys is that there's too much false authenticity of purity going around, and it's really up to you to put the money in the correct company's pockets. Yes. To elevate the industry and to get the industry more regulated by using your dollars as the ploy to pursue purity, to pursue testing, to make companies go. Companies don't want to do that. Companies don't want to wait around. Yeah. I'm sure you didn't want to wait around on that test. It
takes way more time. It adds an extra 3 weeks or so to the manufacturing process, when you have to go and wait for the testing. You have to go order the raw ingredients, then you have to send it out for testing. If you didn't do that, you could shave off some time. A lot of companies are borrowing money to manufacture.
Or they're out of stock with people waiting on stock. So they're just
they got to get back in stock. Yeah. So, and you have a great point. It's a double-edged sword. If there was more oversight on the supplement industry, we'd see raise in prices. We'd see less products in the market. There'd be a mess, And of course, we'd suffer with the freedom of the stuff. We already can't take a lot of stuff we want, right. But with more oversight would be even more. Right. So it's really up to the consumer to make sure that they're getting products from a company that they trust, and that they can actually get the documents to support the claims.